Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Prog Will Find a Way, Friendly Neighborhood Progcast. I am Jonathan Block.
And I'm Jay Valade.
And today, well, it's one of our news episodes.
Yes.
Well, you just said the word, so why don't we start with yes? What's going on in Yes World? There's always something going
World
on.
Right now, the Steve Howe version of the band has a new album coming out in June, I believe, called Aurora. There's a new track out right now with a kind of AI-generated video. And I have to say I was pleasantly surprised by it. John Davison is not John Anderson still, but I found the music and the arrangement and the whole thing to be pretty good.
I agree.
Compared to the previous outputs of the past 10 years.
Makes me want to hear the rest of the album.
Yes. The one thing that I do think that it's missing from my my standpoint is it seems like it's all John Davison.
Right.
From singing. And one of the things I always loved about Yes was the different voices, even though John Anderson was the lead 90% of the time. There was also always these different voices that kind of counterbalanced his high tenor.
Although at times Chris Squire was singing higher than him.
He was.
So,
but
I know what you're saying.
There was always...
Yeah, like, and then you have Steven there, was always in the mix.
Right, too. And then when Trevor Rabin was involved...
And Trevor Horn, too.
Yeah, so...
Not that John was in the band at that time, but the interplay, having seen, because
voices.
I saw it live, I saw it, and him and Squire.
I was just missing that on this song, which I thought would give a more rich texture to his voice, because sometimes his voice is always in this high register that without the balance it comes across very high. That just was my take on it. That's what I'm kind of missing from that song right now.
More Roger Dean artwork though, right? It's Roger Dean.
Yeah, and I love the cover.
Yeah, I thought the cover was
really cool.
really nice. And
but the full album comes out, I believe, in June.
Yeah, are they touring now, or were they?
I think they're doing like a Fragile thing over in Europe coming up. Yeah. I don't know if that's happening right now, but I think that's what's coming up, and I don't know if they're previewing any songs from the new album on that.
And by the way, we didn't ignore Cruise to the Edge.
Oh, that's right.
We didn't ignore it. Our friend did not go this year.
That's right.
So we don't go, but we rely on.
We rely on him to give us the feedback. So we're like, Tim, you got to give us the thing. And Tim's like, oh, I didn't go this year. I couldn't make it. So he had a scheduling conflict.
Maybe next
year.
Didn't
go. So
maybe next year.
We'll have to see what happens next year. So yeah, that's true. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
we kind of swept it.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
So also from Yes, outside of the new album and the new song and the new video and whatever tour they're doing over in Europe right now, or they have re-released From a Page, which was, this is the old version, but it was the album that they were recording Chris Squire, Steve Howe, Alan White, Benoit David as the singer, and Oliver Wakeman before Oliver left the band, because they toured with him a couple times.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, we'll make an album. So they put these songs together. And then Oliver was let go, and Trevor Horn came in and brought Jeff Downes with him, and they put Fly From Here, the album, out.
Yep.
Fly From Here has since been reimagined as Fly From Here Return Trip, with Benoit David's vocals being wiped and Trevor Horn singing them to make it kind of like Drama 2.
More drama.
More, right? But what Oliver did was he took the demos from that time period, and he put out this, with Yes's blessing, obviously, From a Page album, which was 4 songs that never had seen the light of day. To the Moment, Words on a Page, From the Turn of a Card, and The Gift of Love. 3 of those songs are Oliver Wakeman songs. Okay. And one is The Gift of Love is more of a group effort.
Okay.
So what they've done now is they've remastered that. Oliver has been in charge of this, and they included versions of songs that ended up on Fly From Here.
Okay.
But with Oliver playing keyboards instead of Jeff Downes.
Okay. So you can now compare and contrast keyboard players.
Right. So we have
as well as vocalists.
Into the Storm, Hour of Need, The Man You Always Wanted Me to Be. were 3 songs that
Yeah.
were later released by Yes without Oliver, but these are versions with him on it.
Okay.
Also, the song "Aliens" by Chris Squire, which ended up on the Squack It album.
Yeah. Which I actually listened to that album a couple of weeks
did
ago.
you?
Well, it came up, and it was one of those things where I listened to something and I didn't have anything else in mind. I'm like, you know what? I've never really sat and listened to this album. I should.
I like that album.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I won't be drawn to listen to it again anytime soon, but it was good.
It's no Fish Out of Water.
It's no GTR, but it's it could have been a good band. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So then that's CD1. CD2 is demos of basically all those, including an unreleased song that I think part of it, Updraft, which becomes part of Into the Storm or something like that, and then a single mix of To the Moment, which was the quote unquote lead track of the From the Page album.
Wow.
But it's 8 songs, so it's more of a complete album now versus this, which was 4 songs and kind of like an EP. We talked about EPs versus full albums last time. So I really like it.
Yeah.
And hearing the Oliver keyboards on it makes it sound more like the Yes that I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Jeff Downes' style is a little more sparse.
And it's
Oliver is a little
also
more flowery.
It sounds like he uses the same sounds and kind of template that he uses in Asia.
But also potentially the drama stuff. So I think that they played on that versus Oliver's, which is more like his dad, Rick, in the piano and a little more flowery.
Right, and when you think of kind of classic prog, right, you got the organ, you got the piano, maybe the mellotron and a synth, right?
Right.
Whereas with Jeff Downes, it's all synths, right?
Yeah.
It's all synths and different kind of colors and orchestrations, more so. Because I'll be honest, this is not a dig on Rick at all, but I'd say the same thing about Keith Emerson. You know, these guys, when the synths moved over in the 80s from kind of the classic analog stuff, they really didn't do a lot of their own programming. And so the sounds that you hear, they haven't necessarily dated well. And I hear that with Rick too. You know, they had people who would do that stuff. Yeah. But it's not and that's what I find with Jeff. Not that, you know, he's got monitors, he's got everything, but it was always more of a synth-based approach, which makes sense. You think of the Buggles and everything,
right?
And the time versus these guys and Oliver too. They come from that piano, organ, mellotron, maybe a synth background, right? It's kind of this. That's the palette.
But
it's great music.
I enjoyed it.
I agree.
But
I liked the Fly From Here, the new one with the
Trevor?
Instruments. Well, not to be honest, I listened to it once, but I've listened to the instrumental mixes. I think they're good.
Yeah. Well, and I liked Fly From Here.
Yeah.
In the end, but I like
it better with the original, with Benno David's vocals.
Yeah, but I also like the Fly From Here suite.
Yes.
Side 1.
Yes. Well, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Side 2 is all these other songs, and I like these versions better.
I got you.
But I haven't listened to them side to side. I've just listened to these.
You need to put together a version, the Jay Valade curated edition.
So
From a Page.
So I don't have the physical copy. I just did the streaming.
Right. It is available streaming, and check it out.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
It's also available on a 2 CD set and a 2 LP vinyl set. So
excellent.
That is the Yes news.
All right, why don't we do Crimson first? So there is some happenings in the Crimson world. So if you may remember they toured again starting in 2014. And did they go to 2019? I think so. But Jay and I actually saw one of the shows, one of the early shows, which would have been September of 2014 at the Nokia Theater at the time.
Yeah, and this was the 3-drummer version.
The 3-drummer version with Bill Riflin. So this is the first. It was their first tour, which opened at the Egg in Albany, I think a couple of nights before. But we did see one of the shows, and they're putting out a selection from that week of shows. It was 4 or 5 shows. I think it was 4.
So this version had Fripp,
Jocko,
drummers.
Fripp, Jocko. I'm going along the back. Tony,
Mel Collins,
and then the 3 drummers. Pat, Pat
Mastelotto.
Mastelotto, Bill Rieflin, and Gavin Harrison.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
And Bill would occasionally play the keyboards.
Yeah.
So that's where that started too. And even at that tour, in those early days, they were still playing a couple of tunes from the Light of the Day, the Scarcity of Miracles album that kind of set a lot of this in motion. But you know, we got a great show because they weren't playing. We got the Lark's Tongue opener followed by Pictures of a City. I mean, that's all I had to hear was just those two. By the time you're watching this, the track list and everything will be out. I'll be interested to see if they do say where the songs came from, like the night.
Right.
Or
it's a compilation.
It's a compilation of the four. I'm pretty sure it was 4 nights. I think it was a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. The other news in Crimson World, which people know about, again, by the time this comes out, is Robert Fripp just turned 80. And as a celebration on the DGM site, they're going to be putting out some material. It started with just a video with audio between Robert and David Singleton talking about, you know, just as a celebration, they'll put things out. No idea yet. You will know by this time because it will have been a week or two of material. It sounded like they were going to put things out at least once a week, but no idea. And you know, when you think,
what did they put out so far?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing. They announced that they're going to do it.
They announced it. It says Robert. It's under Robert's channel and the Crimson channel. It just says Robert Fripp at 80, and it's just like 2 or 3 minutes talking about that. You know, from the celebration perspective. But then I start thinking like the amount of material that they have put out over the years is complete insanity, right? I mean, I'm curious of like, what else are they going to put out that hasn't been put out? Because don't forget, they had, during the pandemic, first of all, we had King Crimson at 50.
Yeah.
So every week they put out something. A lot of those things had already been put out in the the
remastered.
Yeah, the remasters, but also
like
they used to put this stuff out for free online as well.
Okay.
And now they package it up in those stormy Monday selections or whatever. But it's just my way of saying there's so much stuff out there
Crimson
already.
releases are like Marillion releases to me.
Right.
There's so much.
Well, and then we had during the pandemic the Fripp quiet music, which was like, you know, hours upon hours of you know, Frippertronics, modern soundscapes, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I do wonder what they're going to do differently, but we'll know. You'll know by the time this
Did
video
they
is
say
out.
what it was?
They didn't really.
For all we know, it's people wishing him a happy birthday.
Well, it could be nothing. Jay, let me just talk about a couple of other things, and then we'll move over to Marillion because there's a lot going on there. Coming out or will be out is the Jethro Tull. The box sets continue, and they're now on Under Wraps.
I was going to say, can you tell us, or is it Under Wraps?
I ruined that. It they did a similar thing with Crimson's Construction of Light, right? They went back and Pat re-recorded the drums as opposed to using his electronic kit. He used he used a regular kit. So this is similar, but it's very tastefully done. It's not, it really sounds like it could have been part
of the original.
Even if you're familiar with it. Now, I never minded the electronic drums, and you have both versions. And then, so it's a good.
So it's out or it's coming out?
It's coming out.
But you've heard the...
Yeah, because on streaming, there's already a couple songs that are out, I believe. But I think it's coming out in a week or two when we're recording this. So by the time you see this, it'll be out. But it's not just Under Wraps. It's also Ian Anderson's solo album, Walk Into the Light. Which is the same era and the same concept. So Peter Vitesse was the... keyboard player at the time. He's all over Broadsword and the Beast and even beyond that. But it's a nice collection of that period. There's some live stuff on there too, but you get the drums with drums and then the original version as well. When they re-release stuff on CD, like that may not have come out on CD, but when it did eventually come out, because it was 84, I can't.
That's right in the right time frame though,
85, right? Yeah, but I don't ever remember seeing, one of the first things I ever saw him was Close to the Edge. Starless and Bible Black, I remember Close to the Edge, and something else. But regardless, it all will be in one package. When a CD did come out, and I believe it still was in the 80s, it had the extra songs on it.
Yeah.
It's not like the extra songs are revelatory or anything. It's just more of the same. But there
Yeah.
are some good songs that I like from there, even with the electronic drums. So I'm more fascinated that, and they're going to keep going, apparently. They're going to keep doing more toll boxes. It's interesting. So.
Well, they've done them all up to this point, right?
Yep.
So why not just keep going? I mean, they must be profitable if they.
Well,
keep
I
doing
would
it,
think,
right?
and well, yeah, and also, I mean, Crest of a Knave. I mean, that was
Yeah.
a popular
That was
album.
a big
That
album.
was a
I mean, it
big
won a
album.
Grammy.
Yep, that's true. Won a Grammy.
That's
that
heavy
is-
metal performance.
Yeah, that's funny. So I'm actually looking forward to that. Now, it's easy for me to say that because they put this stuff on streaming too. So, I don't have to actually go out and buy it. Because if you remember, I was hemming and hawing about the Living in the Past,
Yes.
which I still think is amazing.
Did you end up getting?
I never got the box, even though.
So my thing with, and it's still, I think I've mentioned this before, is the streaming stuff disappears from streaming.
I know.
On
a regular basis.
Well, when I was looking up the from a page
page.
stuff, I'm like, I don't think that's available anymore. The original.
Okay.
I think it's just the new one.
Well,
and then I was like, did they repeat some of these?
You have Spotify, right?
I do.
Okay, so
I'm like,
let
did
me
they
look on
repeat
Apple
some of
Music.
these songs on Heaven and Earth? And that's not even streaming anymore.
Right. Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. That stuff just disappears. Like John Anderson's Thousand Hands, you can't get that anymore.
Okay.
So that's why I always buy the product, because otherwise it could just be gone.
When I'm looking at, so we're still on, yes. So the flip side of that is like you can go to Apple Music and you can listen to Aurora in Dolby Atmos.
Right?
And this says it's a there's a deluxe version. I'm trying to see.
Of
There's
Aurora?
there's two bonus tracks. One's called Jam Bustin', which I guess is a jam, and the other's called Watching the River Roll. That sounds acoustic. So
I don't know. We'll see.
all right, so From a Page is here.
Yeah.
So, but
It's the new one, right?
You tell me.
Yeah, it's got
Remastered?
it's the remastered, all
With
that
the
stuff.
demos, okay. So what you're saying? Oh,
They have the old one still
that's the old one.
with just the 4,
Yep,
and then the live stuff.
and then the
Okay.
live stuff. So at least on Apple Music. However,
But
that-
look up. Is Heaven and Earth on there still?
well,
I don't think so.
no, you got to look in compilations. Stuff does not
That
always
was
get
not a
categorized.
compilation.
It doesn't matter. Anyone who uses Apple Music can attest that some stuff just shows up, particularly boxes. I'll give you a good example. Nectar, still talk about Prog. So Nectar has a number of boxes out, and they just came out with one, Down to Earth. And I go into Nectar to look, and like, okay, where are the other box sets? And I go down, they're under compilations.
Yeah.
So we've got Fly From Here,
Yeah.
the complete return trip,
Yeah.
and then but okay, this is under compilations, okay, and this is
But
the
it's Return
instrumental.
Trip, but not the regular, not the old
No.
one.
Steven Wilson remixes. Studio.
So the Benoit David version of that has been erased from history.
All right. Okay. Well, from streaming history. Correct.
Yes.
All right. Well, and we actually list their upcoming dates. So they already played. So they've played a couple of nights.
Oh, in the
Yeah,
in
they're
the UK.
playing. Yeah, they're off tonight. They're playing tomorrow at the Palladium in London. So if you're in London, you can still catch. I'm sure they're playing Aurora, if nothing else. So, all right. So that's Yes, that's Crimson, that's Tull. Let's. So has the Pompeii show happened? When is the Pompeii
No, the
show?
Pompeii show. Right now, Marillion is in the studio finishing up their new album. So they've been posting stuff about putting this together. They basically say they describe making an album. I think I've said this before as like the universe, and then all of a sudden there's like bits and pieces of matter, and then all of a sudden it's together.
Right.
So for months they're just things floating around, and then
Now, is this the way
it all comes together.
So I know I've read, the way they work. They just, a bunch of riffs, a bunch of this, and then this guy helps them put it together in coherent form.
Their producer. yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So they have been for the past week, I guess, at Real World Studios.
Oh,
putting
Peter
stuff together.
Gabriel's studio.
Yeah, Peter
Okay.
Gabriel's studio. So they've
Outside
done
of Bath.
that in the past because they have their own studio, but they go there, I think, to kind of get away from that and hunker down and
Right, and it said,
put some
plays
stuff
the
down.
new vibe,
Right.
the whole 9 yards.
So that tells me that they're pretty close.
Yep.
Right. So then they go on tour, starting in July. So they do Germany, then they do Pompeii in July. They've got 2 nights in Pompeii. Then they're in UK. Then they're in the Netherlands. Then they're in France. And that's it and that ends in November. So
Okay.
from July to November, they're touring Europe.
Are they
basically.
looking to finish this before July, you think?
I would think, but
You don't know with
you
them. Do they?
never know.
Will they? I mean, do they traditionally test stuff out beforehand? I know they did in the old days.
Not
but
traditionally.
okay.
I don't know if we're going to hear any
anything
of that
new?
until
Yeah.
it comes out.
Yeah.
And then they've announced the 2027 weekends so far.
And where they?
There's like 6 weekends that are still unannounced, 5 or 6.
Okay. Is there
that are
like a New York City weekend?
They've never done
Boston?
They've never done an American
Fairfield,
weekend.
Connecticut?
It's
Sponsored by Vinyl Street Cafe.
it's always it's always Canadian.
I know.
Montreal, but they tease that it might be Toronto next time.
Is that better or worse for you?
I think because a lot of people have complained or voiced an opinion that standing, because of Marillion fans being Marillion fans, they get there, 4 hours before the gig
Right.
to get the
Yeah.
good spots, and then they stand for that.
and they're
then
not young.
And then they stand for another 4 hours for the whole show because you're in the theater.
Right.
Then the opening
Okay.
act comes
And-
on. Then it's another 45 minutes. Then
Right.
then they come on, and
Right.
then it's 2 hours and whatever minutes. So it's a long time
Right.
for us.
And this is not a young person's band.
for us older fans.
Yes, I'm
So,
sure there are some young fans.
I think
but-
they were looking to get a seated venue.
A theater.
Whether that occurs or
Okay.
not, I have no idea. They haven't announced anything. They've announced
Okay.
Port Zealand, which is kind of the
Oh,
flagship.
yeah, that's
right.
that's the home base. That's not a home
They've
base.
got a Krakow weekend in April.
Crack House.
Yeah. So that the
Shout out to Jesse for
Port Zealand.
Crack House.
Port Zealand is in March.
We love our guests.
Krakow, Marseille
Okay.
in May.
So a lot of Europe.
Leicester in May. Berlin in June. Barcelona in July. So I don't know when they're gonna make it over to North America within that schedule.
Well,
Maybe.
the other, the other rub here is that it's gotten prohibitively a lot more expensive to get over here.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me if they don't. But they haven't said, it's forthcoming.
Oh, they've got the dates, but
Okay,
they
don't know
have the
where they're-
venues
okay,
or where.
gotcha.
So we're going
Okay.
this weekend, this
Yep.
weekend, this
But
weekend.
there's
this
no
weekend.
Canadian date there, is there?
Not yet.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
they have like 6
So-
other dates listed.
Oh, but nothing.
But
okay.
no cities
Right.
associated with them.
Understood.
So people have reached out. Lucy Jordash is their manager, and she's on. the
and she was at
internet all the
EMI,
time.
right?
Yes.
That's where she started.
yeah,
from.
and she's
Okay.
been their manager, and she's married to Ian Mosley.
Ian Mosley. Yep.
And so she is very forthcoming she's on
Right.
Facebook all the
Oh,
time.
I
It's
know,
like,
no. So
she's-
they let you know when they know.
They're like, Lucy, any news? And
Yeah.
Lucy's like, I will let you know
Yeah.
when I know.
Stop asking me. Yes, you
She's
Marillion fans.
She's
I know,
great.
I know,
I
I
love
know. Oh yeah, I have no.
But
she's very engaging and is very helpful to people.
she's like, I'm just nailing down final things, and I
Right.
can't put it up until it's
right.
confirmed.
Yes.
Which is, of course, the way to go,
Right.
particularly with rabid Marillion fans. At the minute you say anything, they hold you to it.
Well, I don't think they want. I don't think they want a repeat of the merch disasters. You know.
What do you mean?
Well, you were telling me about the last time when
Well,
you
I
went.
don't think that was a disaster. 'Cause
Well,
they
it was
sold
just-
out of everything.
Well, yeah, but the people were in line, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then other people got in first, and it was okay. I won't call it a disaster. Maybe a kerfluffle of sorts, a little hiccup. When you were telling that story,
yeah,
it was a little more.
it was disastrous.
A little more
to me.
aggressive.
It was
To-
disastrous
Oh, okay, but not to anybody else. All right, all right.
There were no fists flying. It was just disgruntled people.
Okay. All right. So anyways, it's a lot going on and a lot happening on the Marillion front. We will.
Yeah, so I don't know when the new but
Right.
it's
But we know
process.
it's in process.
Yes.
All right. Prog will
Awesome.
find a way.
If you wanted to.
Thanks for watching.